It's a chance for you to sit down with the awesome people that make up Korea here on People of Korea. All right, it's POK Day here on K-Poppin', and even though I'm working from home, we do have our awesome POK in the studio making things shine bright. We've got former flight attendant and now writer Woo Eun-bin in the studio. 안녕하세요.
네, 안녕하세요.
본인 소개 부탁드릴게요.
네, 제가 영어로 소개를 준비했는데 한번 해보겠습니다. 네.
네.
네. Hello, my name is Eun-bin. I used to be a flight attendant and now working as a writer. My first book named I'm a Flight Attendant on a Stopped Plane. And I wish I could communicate in English with you guys today, but unfortunately, my English, I'm not fluent in English there, so I'm so sorry about that. But thank you for your kind understanding for me speaking in Korean. 네, 끝이에요.
No, your English is perfect. It's perfect. 완벽한데요?
어제 준비했습니다.
와, 완벽해요. 반갑습니다.
네, 반갑습니다.
Wow, her English is perfect. At that level, I have a feeling she's probably going to speak a little bit of English for us here and there. Okay, so you did say that you're a former flight attendant. I also introduced you as a former flight attendant. So is that in the past? Did you retire? How does that work?
저는 코로나 때문에 사실 제가 자발적으로 그만둔 건 아니고 월급이 2달이 밀렸었어요. 그래서 그만두게 됐습니다. 네.
근데 사실 은빈 씨뿐만 아니라 모든 분들이 다 그렇게 된 거죠, 사실.
아니요. 그 월급이
거의?
밀렸는데도 계속 다니는 사람도 있고요. 그리고 저는 이제 밀려서 언제까지 월급을 받지 않고 다닐 수 없겠다는 생각에 나오게 됐습니다.
Okay. Okay. So according to Eun-bin, apparently because of the pandemic, when it first started, she came to the point where she was not able to be paid for 2 months. And after that, she just like, no, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this anymore because she wasn't being paid. So I was like, was that what happened to everybody? And she's like, I mean, for some people, they still went to work. Some flight attendants kind of stayed on board. But for her, it was a little bit too much of a burden for her to not be able to get paid for 2 months. So she did end up kind of stepping away. So obviously you stepped away, but stepping away from something like that doesn't automatically put you into a publisher. So how did that kind of happen? 사실 아무래도 은비 씨가 2달 월급이 밀렸다고 잠깐 쉰다고 해도 갑자기 책을 나올 수 있는 건 아니잖아요. 그래서 다른 뭐 취미로 했을 수도 있고 아니면 뭐 그 과정들이 있었을 텐데 나오시고 나서는 어떻게 된 건가요? 좀 쉬었었나요? 아니면 그다음부터 뭐였어요?
제가 비행하면서 기록을 엄청 많이 한 승무원이었어요. 매일매일 비행이 끝나고서는 일지를 썼어요. 네, 그러고 그만둔 시점에 이제 저도 어떻게 해야 되지 싶고 고개를 살짝 돌렸는데 제가 그동안 쌓아놨던 일지들이 이만큼 있는 거예요. 그래서 이걸 가지고 내가 뭐라도 할 수 있겠다 해서 그 일지들을 모아서 책을 내게 된 거예요.
Okay. So I was like, yeah, girl, I mean, even if you just quit one day doesn't mean that you can miraculously become a writer. So I asked her what the process was. She said that she has a habit of making a diary entry of some sorts each and every day or whenever she went to go on flight. So over the years, she noticed that she had like all of these things that she was able to write down about her experience. She's like, maybe I can kind of organize that and put that into good use. And so that's how she was able to kind of put that out. In writing a book, I know that it's probably different for everybody, but did you kind of like make a rough copy and then just go to a publisher? Or how did that work? 사실 곡 쓰듯이 책 쓰시는 분들도 다양하더라고요. 어떤 분들은 아예 출판사에서 의뢰를 받아서 제작하는 경우도 있고, 대충 한 1차 정도 글들이라도 좀 조합돼 있어서 그거를 좀 정리를 해서 아예 출판사로 찾아가는 경우도 있는데 어떤 쪽이었었나요?
음, 저는 항상 찾아가는 사람인 것 같아요. 네,
어,
그 출판사에도 당연히 제가 먼저 책을 내고 싶어 하는 성향이 맞는 출판사에 다 지원을 했고요. 요즘에는 또
오,
제가 다양한 활동을 하고 싶어서 강의도 더 많이 나가고 싶어가지고 도서관이나 어떤 동네 서점이나 이런 데도 제가 다 학교에도 먼저 연락하는 네, 그 열심히 살고 있어요. 네.
okay. Okay. So it looks like it's a little bit of her personality, maybe her MBTI a little bit. For her, she did have kind of things that she wanted to do. So she did look at the publisher first. So she went to different publishers. She was looking at different publishers and what kind of books that they were releasing so that she could kind of find them. She was knocking on doors. Even now, she's knocking on doors to different libraries and different bookstores so that they can maybe shelf her books a little bit more as well. Now, obviously, we have a lot of our listeners who are listening from around the world. So, is there a chance that maybe we could see this translated later down the line? 혹시 어차피 이제 성격이신 것 같으니까 열심히 사시는 성격이고 분명히 영어 말고도 언어를 많이 하실 것 같으니까 책을 번역의 시기는 계획이 돼 있는 건가요?
아니요. 아직 의뢰가 없었는데요. 아마 오늘 아리랑 이 라디오, 케이팝인 라디오 나가고 나면 혹시, 네, 저기 세계적인 다른 나라의 출판사 관계자분들이 연락 주시지 않을까 지금 바라고 있어요. 감사해요.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I was asking if there's any plans for her to translate the book. She's like, not now, but she's hoping that after the show for today, maybe a publishing company from around the world. If you have any ideas, she is totally open to them. So don't forget to reach out to her as well. So, since the book has been out, you have been offered to be on a lot of different programs and stuff like that. So, you're obviously pretty busy. So, what's that life been like? Is it 책에 대한 내용은 좀 이따가 저 자세하게 하겠지만 책이 나오고 나서는 사실 이제 방송도 그렇고 뭐 저희 방송에도 나오셨으니까 좀 또 다른 바쁜 생활을 살고 계실 텐데 어떠세요? 좀 좋으신가요? 아니면 약간 좀 옛날에 그 출근하고 비행기 타고 약간 그 스케줄이 조금 더 그리우세요?
사실 다들 하늘에 비행기 날아가면은 보통 사람들은 비행기도 좋겠다, 여행 가고 싶다 이러시잖아요. 근데 이제
그쵸?
저는 이제 비행기 보면서 아휴, 이제 서비스 시작이겠네. 한참 남았겠네. 고생이다, 고생이야. 이렇게 이제 생각을 해요. 네. 이게 이제 대부분의 승무원들의 그런 공통된 마음인데요. 저는 이제 하늘에서 더 이상 일하진 않지만 땅에서 바쁘게 먹고 사는 법을 배우면서 오히려 또 다른 지금까지는 몰랐던 새로운 즐거움을 알아가고 있는 것 같아요.
Okay, so I was asking if she missed being in air or if she likes being busy now with a lot of the different broadcasts that have been reaching out to her, like even us. And she's like, mostly when people see a plane flying in the air, they look up, they're like, oh, somebody's going on a flight. That looks so cool. I want to go. But for her, she looks up at a plane and she's like, oh, if they just took off, then they're probably serving now, and oh man, there's gonna be a long flight. So she's saying that she's trying to learn how to live on ground and try to enjoy the new life that she does have with her. So I'm looking at the book, and it refers that you were in the flight attendant business for about 10 years. I mean, so that's not a short amount of time. So How did you get your start? 책이나 뭐 이렇게 소개를 보면 승무원은 10년 정도 하셨다고 하셨는데 시작은 어떻게 시작하신 건가요?
아, 제가 대학교 졸업하던 시점에
Mm-hmm.
사실 승무원이 어려서부터 꿈은 전혀 아니었었고요.
Uh-huh.
근데 이제 저희 집이 조금 어려웠었다 보니까 제가 해외여행을
Uh-huh.
가보지를 못했었어요. 그런데 승무원 하면은 해외여행 이제 공짜로 다니고 또 어때요? 해외에서 지내라고 밥값도 주고요. 막 생활비를 줘요.
그죠.
퍼듐이라고.
그죠.
그런 직업이 어디 있어요. 그래서 나 같은 애는 승무원을 해야 해외를 많이 다닐 수 있겠다 싶어서 뒤늦게 이제 좀 현실적인 이유에서 시작하게 된 게 바로 승무원이었어요.
Oh, okay. So she says that while she was getting ready to graduate college, her family was not of a very well upbringing, so she didn't have too much money to like go overseas to visit places and whatnot. And then she kind of got thinking, since I've never really got a chance to visit, like, overseas or different countries, if I was a flight attendant, I'll get paid to go to different countries and experience things and enjoy things. And yeah, she gets a chance to be on a plane all the time. So that's kind of how it started. So I have a feeling that, especially with like Mama Musola, because she also said that she was preparing to be a flight attendant, but that didn't work out. So she became a singer. So people have started to gain interest in the fact that being a flight attendant is not easy. So how does that even work? 사실 마마 무솔라 씨가 준비하다가 실패를 하고 가수로 데뷔했다는 얘기가 계속 많이 돌잖아요. 그래서 사실 많은 케이팝 팬들은 한국에 승무원을 하면 정말 어렵구나. 어떤 과정인가? 뭐 이런 거에 궁금증이 되게 많거든요. 과정은 어떻게, 만약에 제가 뭐 나이 제한이라도 있는 건가요? 제가 당장 오늘 은민 씨랑 인터뷰를 하고 나 하고 싶다 하면 지원은 가능한 건가요?
네, 사실 공식적인 나이 제한은 없지만 있다고
음,
봐야겠죠. 합격한 친구들을 보면은 대부분이 조금 어리고
그쵸.
그렇잖아요. 네, 근데 저도
음.
국내 항공사를 8번 이상을 떨어졌었어요. 네, 8번 이상이나 떨어져서 그래서 살짝 눈을 돌려서 우리나라에서 제일 가까운 일본 항공사의 시험을 봐서 된 케이스고 너무 안타까운 게 10년 전에 제가 일본 항공사 시험 볼 때는 다 영어로 봤었거든요. 그때는
네.
제가 영어 책을 2권을 딸딸딸 외워가지고 면접을 어떻게 봤는데, 어, 어떻게 지금 제 영어 실력은 무슨 일인가요? 네. 오늘을 계기로 다시 한번 영어 책을 딸딸 외우고 이 아리랑 케이팝핀을 열심히 들으면서 공부를 해보려고 합니다. 네.
다시 쓰시면 감이 뭐 지금 제가 무슨 말 하면 다 알아듣 계시잖아요.
네.
영어 실력 아직 살아 있는 거예요.
아,
Don't worry. Okay, so she was telling us that I mean there's no age limit to being a flight attendant officially, but she is saying that if you see a lot of the flight attendants when they do get their first job, they do tend to be a little bit on the younger side. Is it everything? No, but yeah. For her, she said domestically, she failed the test 8 times, and that was 10 years ago. And then she was able to decide to maybe I need to go somewhere else. And so she looked into it, and she ended up actually applying for a airline in Japan. And at the time, they actually had to do the test all in English. So she remembered memorizing back to back 2 English books. And she's like, I mean, my English is still here, but not really because I'm on the show. And like, where is my English? Being on the show has made me realize that I need to work on my English again, which is not true because she's understanding everything that I'm saying right now. So that's completely not true. So I'm kind of curious when it comes to your day in a life of a flight attendant. These have been going viral online these days. So for you, before you left, if you could remember and kind of walk us through what it was like, what was it like for you? 사실 최근에 온라인상으로 이제 짧은 영상들이 좀 유행을 타면서 승무원의 하루 뭐 이렇게 뭐
음,
브이로그라든지 뭐 이런 게 엄청 유행이더라고요.
음.
식사하시기 전에 은빈 씨는 어떤 하루 시작을 이제 비행기 있는 날이라면 어떻게 시작을 하고 어떻게 진행이 되나요?
음, 승무원들이 비행하기 전에 가장 많이 시간을 뺏기는 게 아무래도 어, 안전에 관한 공부도 있지만
아,
어피어런스를 완벽하게 하고 회사를 가야 돼요. 네. 그래서
네?
네. 많은 국내 항공사들은 특히나 어떤 화장에 대한 매뉴얼이라던가 복장 이런 게 정말 세세하게 되어 있어요. 손톱 길이는 0.3mm 이내에 뭐 머리 색깔은 어떻게 잔머리 하나도 빠져나오면 안 되게 왜 이렇게 쫙 묶는 쪽머리라고 하죠. 예. 그래서 저는 이 머리를 제가 지금은 그만둔 지 조금 돼서 길렀는데 비행할 때는 항상 단발을 유지했어요. 이 쪽머리를 하는 게 너무 싫어가지고 거기에 시간이 너무 많이 소요되니까요. 그래서 저는 비행 갈 때마다 항상 왜 이렇게 내가 외모를 가꾸는데 시간을 많이 소모해야 하지라는 그런 회의감이 있어서 그것들을 또 책에도 썼던 것 같아요.
Wow. Okay. So there's a little bit of a interesting thing. So for her, she remembers that when she was a flight attendant, especially for domestic airlines, it could be different for different ones around the world, but for domestic ones, she says that one thing is yes, safety, but she realized that appearance actually is something that domestic airlines are really, really deep on. So she says that they are very detailed to the point where if you have a bun hair, it has to be like a certain way. It has to be put back a certain way. There's no baby hairs flying out. Like she said that it was like it was so time consuming that she constantly had short hair because she just didn't want to deal with it. So she always kept her hair short. She's grown it out a little bit now because it's been a while since she was able to retire. But even for the nails, they have to be zero point 0.3 millimeters. Excuse me, like how do you measure? 어떻게 재는 거예요, 손톱?
매니큐어도 꼭 발라야 돼요.
매니큐어도 발라야 되는 거예요? 안 바르는 게 아니라 발라야 되는 거예요?
네. 그게 이제 더 깔끔한
뭐,
인상을 준다고 생각을 하나 봐요.
그러면 금지되는 색깔도 있는 건가요?
네, 당연히 금지된 색깔이 있었고요. 뭐 절대 빨간색 뭐 이런 화려한 색깔이 아니라 뭐 살구색 톤, 핑크톤, 살색이랑 비슷한 톤의 매니큐어 아니면 투명 매니큐어라도 꼭 발라야 되는 게 규정이었어요. 제가 다녔던 항공사는.
Wow. Okay. So I was like, how do you measure your fingernails? She's like, oh, we also had to have them putting on nair in any type of polish as well. For the polish, the color wise, nothing was red, nothing like fabulously flamboyant. It had to be pink or nude tones or something very neutral or even something very clear. It had to be like clean cut image. And she's again saying that it might not be for every airline, but for the airline that she was working at, that was something that they had. So, what I'm going to ask is our listeners to just continue to send in any more questions and messages for our awesome POK for today, which is Uinbin in the studio. But we're going to take a quick song break and come back so we can. All right, it is the second hour of K-pop in here on Arirang Radio. I'm your host, Isak. It is POK Day, and we have the very beautiful former flight attendant, now writer, Bin in the studio. 은빈 씨,
네.
제가 스튜디오에 없고 사실 은빈 씨 들어가시기 전에 저희가 소독도 다 하긴 했는데
네.
지금 해외 청취자분들이 마스크 살짝만 내려서 얼굴 살짝 한 번만 살짝 보여달라고.
제가
가능할까요?
네. 마스크 안 벗을 줄 알고 밑에 화장 하나도 안 했는데 감안하고 봐달라고 말해주세요. 근데 립스틱도 안 바르고.
Okay, so
네.
she says that
어머.
she only did half of her
네.
makeup for today, thinking that she wouldn't be taking her mask
어머.
off. So
입술
just
색깔.
remember.
네.
예뻐요. Don't worry. 예뻐요. Don't worry. Okay. That was a little bit of a gift for the listeners. All right, so we have Umbin in the studio because she wrote a book called "I'm a Flight Attendant on a Stop Plane," and our listeners are asking if we can find this in an ebook version. 번역되진 않았지만 그래도 이북으로도 구매가 가능한 건가요?
네, 이북 지금 구매 가능합니다.
Okay, so yes, it is. It's not translated yet, but it is for sale on ebook. So if you're willing to work on your Korean skills, definitely go check it out. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the book in itself. I was looking over the book and you said that you actually like talking to the guests on the flight. So I want to see what that's all about. 책 보니까요, 되게 말 거는 걸 좋아한다고 하셨는데, 원래 승무원분들이 좀 그렇게 말 걸고 막 이러는 걸 좋아하나요?
아니요, 제가 워낙에 오지랖이 넓은 승무원이었던 것 같아요. 그래서 아마 청취자분들 중에도 승무원이 먼저 와서 말 건 경험이 많이 있을지 모르겠는데, 저는 좀 가서 뭐 새로운 기종 전자기기를 들고 계시다 하면은, 어머, 이거 이번에 새로 사신 거예요. 이거 어때요? 저도 지금 살까 말까 고민 중인데, 사진은 잘 나와요? 하면서 막, 제가 사진 한번 찍어 드릴까요? 막 이러면서 말도 걸기도 하고, 뭐 신혼부부처럼 보이시면은, 너무 부러워요. 저는 결혼 언제예요? 저도 결혼하고 싶은데 이러면서 막 얘기를 많이 거는 그런 승무원이었어요.
Ah, okay. So she's like, I don't know if a lot of other flight attendants like doing this, but she just really loves talking to people. So let's say, for instance, if somebody on the flight had like a new phone and she was interested in getting that phone, she'd be like, is that that phone? How is it? Do you like it? Do you want me to take a picture with it for you? She loves to talk with people. If she saw maybe a couple that looked like newlyweds, she'll go over. She'll be like, "Oh, you guys look like such a cute couple. When am I gonna get married?" And she just really loved talking to the guests on the flight. Um, do you remember anybody that was like you didn't expect to be who they were? It was like a memorable conversation you had on a flight. 그러면 좀 기억에 남았던 대화나 어떤 승객이 있었을까요?
음, 한 분 먼저 제 책의 첫 번째 나오는 할머니 승객인데요.
음.
아니다, 바꿀게요. 할아버지 승객으로. 네. 너무 많아가지고, 네. 이분은
네.
책에도 제가 씻지 않아서 이야기하고 싶어가지고요. 네. 이 할아버지 승객분이 할머니를 비행 내내 수술 후에 할머니가 탑승하신 거여서 몸이 엄청 편찮으셨어요. 그래서 막 매 계속 팔다리 주물러 주시고 할머니 건조할까봐 잘 때 그 물을 할머니 머리 위로 화분에 물 주듯이 이렇게 막 뿌리시더라고요. 그래서 제가 뭐, 어머, 할아버지 왜 물을 그렇게 할머니한테 뿌리지 할까? 아, 기내가 너무 건조해서 그려. 할머니 말라 죽을 것 같아. 왜 이러시는 거예요. 그러고서는 이제 내리실 때도 할아버지가 다 할머니 부축해서 이제 내리시는데, 할머니를 태워야 하는 휠체어가 올 때까지 시간이 조금 걸렸어요. 가만히 멀뚱멀뚱 서서 휠체어 기다리면은 조금 그렇잖아요. 그래서 제가 할아버지랑 할머니한테 이렇게 말했어요. 할머니, 할아버지가 할머니 엄청 사랑하시는 것 같아요. 비행 내내 지극히 간호해 주시더라고요. 저희 승무원들이 다 부러워했어요. 이렇게 말씀드렸거든요. 근데 할아버지가 나중에 저를 이렇게 부르시더니 가까이 와봐, 가까이 와봐. 근데 이제 속삭이면서 내가 사랑한다고 42년 동안 한 번도 말한 적이 없는데 오늘 대신 말해줘서 고마워. 할머니 처음 들어봤을겨. 이러는 거예요. 네, 그럼 제가 또 그거를 근래 뭐라 썼냐면, 할머니는 표현하지 않아도 온몸으로 할아버지가 사랑을 표현하고 있었으니까 알았을 거라고. 네, 나는 오늘 그런 사랑을 기내에서 봤다고 그렇게 또 멋있게 썼죠. 네.
Okay, so she was able to share this really sweet story that you can actually find this in the book if you guys actually pick up a copy of it. So an elderly couple got onto the plane, and the elderly woman had just gone through some type of surgery. So her husband was constantly nursing her through the entire flight. He was massaging her while she was kind of sleeping. The next time that Umbi passed by, he was spraying water on top of her head, kind of like flicking on her, like, he was trying to do something. And she was asking him, like, why are you splashing water on her head? And she's like, oh, it's so dry in here that I feel like she's going to dry up because it's so dry. So he was constantly being able to nurse her back. And so at the end of the flight, they needed to wait for the wheelchair at the front of the air flight. And while they were there, of course, Umbin being the awesome person she is, she was starting to make small talk with them. And she was telling the elderly lady, when it comes to you two as a married couple, all of us were really, envious of the relationship because your husband was being so sweet the entire flight. He was constantly nursing you and whatnot. And she was just like, oh, Okay. And then later on, the elder man kind of called Eunbin over and was just like, you know what? I've never really gotten a chance to say I love you to my wife over the past years. And so thanks to you, I think she was able to kind of know for the first time, like that's what I've been doing for her physically. And then she was able to write in the book that she probably knew that he was physically showing how much he loved her. So very sweet story. And those are just one of the stories that you can catch in her book if you guys go check it out. 이런 얘기랑 더 좋은 얘기들은 또 책을 구매하시는 분들은 또 볼 수 있으니까 구매하셔야겠죠. Don't forget to go buy it. What is this? You were also a webtoon writer. When did this happen? SNS 보니까요.
네.
웹툰 작가 뭐 이런 얘기도 있어요. 지금 뭐 은민 씨 안 하는 게 뭐예요? 이거 웹툰 얘기 무슨 얘기예요? 빨리 얘기해 주세요.
네. 제가 원래는 그림을 배운 적도 없고, 뭐, 그려볼 생각도 안 하고, 저도 평생 살았는데요. 처음에
네네.
글을 쓰고서는 책 내기 전에는 보여줄 데가 없잖아요. 그래서
Uh-huh.
친구들한테 막 보냈어요. 근데 친구들이 길다고 안 읽어주는 거예요. 남자친구도 심지어. 그때 제가 들었던 생각이, 내 친구도 내 글을 안 읽어주는데, 다른 사람, 생판 모르는 사람이 읽어주겠어? 그러면 더 많은 사람에게 내 이야기를 쉽게 읽히게 하려면 뭐지? 그림 만화밖에 없구나. 네, 그래서 바로 아이패드를 이제 사가지고, 그냥 그리기 시작했어요. 그래서 제가 되게 보면은 뭐 잘 그리진 않아요. 네. 근데 귀엽죠?
네, 너무 좋아요. So, she was saying that there's talk about a webtoon on her social media account too. So I was like, what is it she can't do? Because she's pretty much awesome at this time, like even more awesome for doing this. So apparently the behind story to this is that when she started writing a lot of the stuff that she was doing, she would give it to her friends and people that she knew, and she would have them try to read it. And then they would kind of just put it down after a few moments. And she kind of realized that maybe it's too long, or maybe it was hard for them to concentrate to see what is going on. So she's like, okay, how can I get even my friends to concentrate on the stuff that I want them to read? And she's like, okay, maybe drawing something would change the atmosphere or their interest. And so she's like, okay, fine, I'm going to buy my own tablet and start drawing. And of course, it's not the best drawings in the world, but she feels that it was a great way for her to kind of start moving into that direction. So I'm kind of curious, in this time in your life, friends and whatnot, going from flight attendant to now writer, when you first talked about this, what was your friends or family's reaction? 아무래도 승무원이라는 직업에 대한 또 이미지가 있잖아요, 한국에서. 막 칭찬하고 막 가족들도 와 승무원 와 이 얘기를 하다가 나 이제 작가 할 거야 했을 때 주변 반응은 어땠어요?
제가 작가 한다고 했을 때 사실 처음에는 다 재능이 있는 분야가 있지 이런 식으로 조금 무시하는 그런 게 컸고요. 근데 실제로 제가 책을 내니까 다들 놀라워했는데 승무원이라는 직업을 제가 먼저 말씀드렸던 것처럼 먼저 그만둔 게 아니라 이 코로나 상황 때문에 어쩔
그쵸.
수 없이 나오게 된 거잖아요. 근데
그쵸.
네, 그래서 승무원 생활하면서 취미로 열심히 했었던 글이나 그림으로 땅에서도 이제 밥 벌어 먹고 살 수 있게 됐으니까 다들 그때 계속 꾸준히 하길 잘했다고 하더라고요. 그래서 저는 한우물만 파는 게 아니라 한 일을 하면서 계속 이곳저곳 여러 우물을 파면서 살아야 되는 것 같아요. 그래서 여러분들 오늘 K-팝인 리스너들도 네, 좀 다양한 분야를 깨작깨작거려 보면은 나중에 그게 다 연결되는 시점이 오는 것 같더라고요. 그래서 우리 같이 우물을
Okay, so
많이
yeah.
팝시다. 네.
좋아요. 우물 많이 파요. Okay, so yeah, she was saying that honestly, a lot of people, when she said that she might become a writer, was just like, there's things that everybody is gifted in, You sure about that? And so a lot of doubt was in people around her, family and friends included. But once the book came out and, stuff started actually processing, everybody was really surprised and just was able to see how good she was at it. But she did make a realization through that. She realized that even though she was constantly keeping herself busy kind of as a hobby. She liked writing as a hobby. She liked doing other things as a hobby. And having those other interests in different places was great for her because obviously, if she didn't have to retire, if, the pandemic didn't come and she wasn't paid for 2 months and all of that, if it didn't happen, would this book have come out? Probably not. Well, not yet. But she does think that if you are able to kind of use your personality to go into different places, be able to get into different things, this really does help you later down in the line because it is going to kind of meet one day. You never know, it might change your life for the best. So, now that you're really interested in so many different things and the different places that you were able to create came together, is there any other else that you have that might be a new hobby that you're looking at? 이제 우물을 여러 개 팠었잖아요. 그래서 이제는 결과를 보고 있는데 그러면 지금 은빈 씨가 또 다른 우물들은 또 뭐 취미나 이런 걸로 파고 있는 게 있는 건가요?
음, 제가 승객들에게 대화하는 걸 좋아하는 승무원이었잖아요. 그런데 비행을 안 하니까 이제 대화할 사람이 없잖아요. 그래서 지금은 중고등학교나 대학교에 강의를 다니면서 학생들이랑 이야기를
아,
많이 나누고 있어요. 근데
아,
다들 저마다의 고민이 있고 또 자신만의 좀 특별하고 재미있고 유쾌한 이야기가 있는데 그것들을 어떻게 세상에 꺼내보야 될지 잘 모르더라고요. 그래서 저는 지금 저의 뉴 하비는 저보다 어린 친구들에게 친한 언니 같은 좀 친한 누나 같은 그런
음,
존재가 되어서 자신들의 이야기를 저처럼 기록으로 남기고 그 기록을 세상에 꺼내 보이면서 누군가에겐 또 위로가 될 수 있는 스토리니까 그래서 서로 우리 다 유명하지도 않은 개인들이지만 서로 우리들만의 이야기로 좀 더 풍요로워졌으면 좋겠다는 그런 바람이 있어요.
음.
네.
Okay. Yeah. So I was asking her if there's any other hobby that she has right now. Well, another job slash hobby that she's doing right now is giving lectures. So she's getting a chance to meet up with different age group students and getting a chance to do lectures to kind of try and find what talent they might have out of maybe what kind of job they want to do or what they're doing afterwards. So her goal right now is to try to find a way to be an approachable person, to be able to have anybody feel very comfortable so that they can come to her and talk about like the things they want to do, brainstorm with her, and she's trying to look in that direction as well. Tiger Bliss is saying she still seems to have the flight attendant hand gestures. 은미 씨 말씀하실 때마다 약간 승무원스러운 그 핸드 제스처가
아,
보인다는 청취자들의
아,
의견인데요.
이거 되게 승무원하면서 몸에 익힌 너무 좋은 애티튜드 같아요. 그래서 손끝 하나도 이제 예의 바르게 화장실 저기 있어요가 아니라 저기 있습니다. 이렇게 예의 바르죠. 네.
그것도 책으로 내주세요.
아, 그럴까요?
그 책으로 내주세요.
좋은 아이디어인데요. 고맙습니다.
Okay, so she was like, yeah, she feels that overall, it's really helpful that the mannerisms that she learned while she was a flight attendant, it just seems to be a little bit more proper, especially when like saying, the bathroom's over there instead of like, seeing it feel rude. And so it's like, hey, maybe that can be another book. She's like, that's actually a very good idea. All right, it is the second hour of K-pop, and I'm your host, Isak. It is POK Day, and we have the very beautiful and talented former flight attendant, now writer Woo Eun-bit in the studio. And we are going to get down to our OX question because she's our idol for today. 오늘 우리 K-pop이나 POK에 오시면 아이돌이 되시거든요. 그래서 아이돌분들이 하는 그 OX 질문을 저희가 드리도록 할 건데요. 제가 질문을 드리면 O 아니면 X를 대답해 주시고 변명할 시간은 드릴 수 있고 안 드릴 수 있어요.
알겠습니다.
Okay, so I might give her some time to explain herself. I might not. We're just gonna have to wait and see. All right, question number one. when it comes to an offer to be back in the airs, I actually think I might take it. 항공사에서 제의가 들어오면 생활 다시 제대로 해보고 싶다. 3, 2, 1.
No.
No,
네.
X. No, no, no. Okay, question number 2. I actually was asked on quite a few dates while I was a flight attendant. 승무원 시절 승객에게 데이트 요청도 많이 받았었다. 3, 2, 1.
No.
No.
So sad.
No, really?
아, 많이는 아니고.
Okay.
아, 네.
Question number 3. If anybody I know, family or friend, wants to be a flight attendant, I actually want to say no to them. 내 가족이나 지인이 승무원 하겠다고 하면 말리고 싶다. 3, 2, 1.
말리고 싶. No, 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 no.
No, no, no. Okay. Question number 4. I am a writer at the moment and I am really loving life. 제2의 직업이자 인생인 작가로서의 삶에 대해 매우 만족하고 있다. 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Yes. And last but not least, there is some other dreams coming up now. 작가 외에 다른 꿈도, 다른 삶도 꾸고 있다. Yes. 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so going back to number 2. 잠시만요. 승객의 데이트 요청이 많이 받은 적 없다.
네.
아니었을 것 같은데요.
아, 근데 제가 대화를 많이 걸다 보니까 조금 착각을 하시고, 네, 제가 되게 좋아해서 먼저 말을 많이 거는 줄 알고, 그런 분들은 이제, 네, 이제 데이트 요청을 하셨는데, 사실 제가 먼저 또 이렇게 오해의 여지를 남겼으니까요. 가만히 있는데 오진 않더라고요. 네.
Okay. Okay. So apparently there were a few dates that were asked on her part, but it was after she mostly talked to them. So you know how she said earlier she would kind of talk about like phones or something like that. If she talked to somebody, they might have gotten the wrong idea and then they asked her out on a date. But when she was just, being a flight attendant, nobody at the end would be like stopping her and be like, hey, here's my number. You never really got a chance to do that. For the first one, you did say no. So I want to kind of see why. 사실은 첫 번째 질문에 약간 망설이시거나 아니면 다른 답을 주실 줄 알았는데 되게 단호하게 노를 하셨네요. 특별한 이유는 아까 말씀하셨던 것처럼 힘들겠다 뭐 이런 마음이셔서 그런 건가요? 아니면
그만두고서 얼마 되지 않았을 때는 다시 당연히 비행하고 싶었는데요. 지금은 이제 조금 1년 정도 지나다 보니까, 지금 제 삶에도 만족을 하고 있고, 또 저는 아마 다시 비행을 한다면 또 비행하는 삶도 즐길 것 같은데요. 10년을 어쨌든 승무원으로 비행했잖아요. 그러니까 이제는 좀 다른 직업, 다른 삶을 살아보고 싶은 마음이 있어요.
Okay. Yeah. So, right after she retired from being a flight attendant, she did say that, there were times where I kind of wish that I was a flight attendant again. But now that the book's out and she is kind of living a new life and she's starting to do a lot more things, she was telling us she's doing like lectures and stuff now. She really does like her life now. And she's already put 10 years of her life into being a flight attendant. So she feels that now it's just room for more opportunities for her to do something later down the line. So, it is pretty much the end of the month and, April is coming and there's a lot of questions going on and it's time for us to say goodbye. So I'm going to have her wrap all that up for us. 사실 저희가 인사할 시간도 되기도 했고 이제 4월도 코앞이고 하니까 앞으로 좀 많은 청취자분들이나 아니면 은비 씨의 좀 오늘 듣고서 관심 있으셨던 분들은 뭘 기대하면 좋을까요?
저로부터 어떤 걸 기대하면 좋을지.
네. 네, 이제 뭐 책이 하나 더 나온다든지 웹툰이 한 편 더 나온다든지 뭐 이런 것들. 네.
저는 이제 저의 이야기만이 아니라 저의 부모님에 대한 이야기를 더 세상에 알리고 싶어요. 계속 얘기해도 되나요? 네. 저희 특히 엄마 같은 경우에는 뭐 고등학교인 아들이 바깥에서 이제 술 마시는 걸 눈치를 채신 거예요. 근데 그거를 막 혼내기보다 위험하니까 기왕에 술 마실 거면은 너 친구들 데리고 집에 엄마가 술상 한번 차려줄게 이렇게 해주시고 또 저희 아빠 같은 경우에는 제가 클럽에 간다고 했을 때 너 무슨 클럽이야 이렇게 혼내는 게 아니라 너 다음날에 클럽 가로 사게 백화점으로 나와 이러더니 또 섹시한 옷 골라봐 하더니 제일 섹시하고 짧은 옷을 막 사주셨어요. 그래서 이렇게 좀 친구 같은 부모님의 훌륭한 교육 이런 뭐 훌륭하다고까지는 아니지만 그래서 이런 재미난
만한 거리를 하고 싶다.
네, 친구 같은 부모님 이야기를 네.
Okay. So she was saying that for her parents, her mom and her dad were really laid back parents overall. They were able to be really open minded when they were raising their kids, especially their son, and even her as well when it came to drinking or clubbing. So she really would like to write something about that for them for today. 은비 씨 나와주셔서 감사합니다.
네.
Thank you.
네, 감사합니다. 다음에 또 뵐게요. 바이바이. Thank you.